alt that I'm not even signed in on. And we are live here at the Collegiate Karting League. I am Ted Bear, joined today by Kennesaw State University's Wisp. Wisp, how are you doing tonight, my man?
I am doing fantastic. I am super happy to be casting this D2 match of Arizona State University versus University of California, San Diego. These are two super big teams. They are pretty well known from the players on them, and I am excited to be casting this with you because I feel like this is a pretty high stakes match. So they got some powerful players here, and I'm interested to see what they can do.
Oh man, I'm excited for it just as well. Both teams have quite a nice history. UCSD famously last spring 2024 spring semester champions of Division 1. They've lost a few pieces, but they haven't really lost their step. Arizona State University, Cairo, very famous for competing in every CKL season so far, with various different teams, UC SoCal, UCLA, moving down into Arizona State. And Arizona State has just been phenomenal this season so far in Division Two. Very good to see. It's just a very exciting matchup. I can't wait to kick it off.
Yes, so we have some pretty powerful rosters here. So I'm going to start off by going over the ASU lineup. So starting off with ASU, we have Slick, who was on the MKU team Cook or Let Him Cook, which they were made all the way to Division 5 semis. So they are a pretty strong roster. Next up, we have Cairo, who is on the team MK University, which they made it to Division 9 finals. We have Drugels, who is the founder of Lumina Crash, which they were in D15. We have Henry, who was also on Lumina Crash with Drugels. We have Keygen, who was on Arctic Frost, which made it all the way to D11 semis. And we have Bonanza, who is on Pirate Hackers, who is in Division 10. Now, over on University of California, San Diego, starting off, we have Top Hat Bear, who is on Solar Storm, which is Division 4, and he used to lead the team MK College. We have Wallaweez, who is one of the leaders of MK University, which is kind of interesting because we have Cairo on Arizona State University, who's also on that team. So, teammates going up against each other is always something interesting to see, and he is the leader of the MK Wallaweez clan. We have Lemon, who is on MK Scholars D17, Asha and Fly, who are also on MK University, and we have Luna, who is not on a team. However, they've been playing with UCSD since CKL Season 2, and they were on the Summer Switch Up crew, Summer Switch Up team, Bowser's Big Crew, which I was on that team as well. Very awesome group of people. So two powerhouse teams going up against each other. I think UCSD, they have a lot of good people. They have been playing together for quite a long time, though. They've been here in CKL for a long time, so they got a lot of experience warring with each other, especially since a lot of them are part of the MK Wallaweez clan. And Arizona State University is a bit newer, but they have some players that you need to watch out for.
Yeah, I'm so excited to watch this match. I think both teams have such a hard hitting lineup. Both teams are phenomenal. And I think it's going to give a great show, not just to us, but to all the viewers at home. And I just cannot wait to get started.
Yeah, so I think we're gonna have um the POVs showing up soon. I think oh, hold on. I think we have the POV showing up soon. I think Slick is one of them. I think Cairo is one of them. And I think we have
We should have Slick and Cairo for Arizona State University, and we should have the standout player for UCSD, Top Hat Bear, showing
yes.
up on stream as well. So
Mm-hmm.
very exciting. All three players here, definitely hard hitters. Very exciting to watch. always scoring well, always supporting the team well. There's always, I think, going to be something going on across all three. And even though this might be a late prime time, whether you're getting ready for bed in the AM on the East Coast or you're just settling home down on the West Coast, this is going to be very exciting to watch.
Yeah, especially because, us over here on the East Coast, this is, I think, at least a first for me, a 1 a.m. stream. So,
This
I
might be
mean,
this might be the latest stream we've ever ran in
yeah.
CKL. So
So,
this is something something unique, I guess.
yes.
But
So
we're
we
excited
over
to run
here.
this.
Yeah, we're on Cairo's POV here. So starting off with ASU's pick, we're going to see what they go with. And it looks like they're going with Madrid Drive. And it looks like we have UCSD going with Neo Bowser City. And this is actually a pretty smart pick from UCSD here, as I know ASU has some some inside drifting players.
Yes,
That
I believe
being
when they run their top lineup.
Slick,
Yep.
I'm pretty sure is inside drift. And we got Cairo, who is inside drift. And
Yep.
Drugels, actually.
Yep, I believe 4 of their players in the previous season were inside drift players. So 4 of their 6 were running inward drift, which is not something you see very often in CKL or even Mario Kart as a whole.
Yes. But we are starting here off on Madrid Drive, which was ASU's pick. So we're starting off here with, we see Wall sitting in the top hat bear with California tag on, which is pretty funny. But yeah, we're gonna see how well UCSD can hold these or break into these tops here, because we see Slick that's just chilling in first right now, and Cairo is also in second. So they got the top spots on lockdown. Cairo showing off the little shroomless shortcut there as Heegen shrooms up. And I think that is a top 3, top 4 for ASU here. Ooh, unfortunate team kill from Cairo, but we see Wall right behind him, so got to be careful in case any items get thrown up here.
Yep, and even with the team kill, they're still holding down top 3, so that's so far so good right now for ASU. It looks like all 3 teams are kind of running the same Yoshi color, so we'll see outside of Waluigi right there. So it might be a little confusing on the mini-map for the players in the match.
Yes, but after this race, surely they'll switch. And we see Cairo's holding his shroom through this set here just so he can shroom up into this shortcut that we'll see after the glider. And he'll have another shroom for after in case something happens. So we'll see Cairo cut up here. But there are a lot of UCSD players behind him, such as Top Hat and Wall. So we'll see how well he can hold on to this. And I think there is another ASU that's kind of trying to break into the top spots here, but Heegen and Cairo are kind of just running away with it right now, and they have 2 blue dodges. So yeah, if UCSD pulls a blue, they are not going to be they're not just going to have a lot to stop them unless they get a shock. There's the ghost.
There's the ghost, but they still have the horn.
Yep.
The blue.
Yeah, it looks like Heegen's going to have to burn the horn because of the red from Top Hat there. And oh, and there's the blue. Yeah.
Great plays there by UCSD, honestly.
Yeah, burning the horn and then chucking that blue out just let them shut down ASU here. Cairo going wide with the trail, and it looks like we see Astra breaking into the top spots. I think that is a first and a third from ASU, and I think UCSD got a lot of the other tops.
Yep, that was really smart play there by UCSD, especially if that shroom was or that ghost was their own, to recognize that you took that from a top spot. And then I believe that was Astra in third being able to use the red to take out the horn. You took out both blue defenses right there. Phenomenal team play right there. I think that shows, even if they're not at the Division 1 level anymore, they're still a phenomenal college team.
Yeah. Especially since a lot of them have experience playing in D1 is actually pretty big for them, just because they have experience racing up against the big dogs. They know what it's like at the highest level of CKL. So whenever they're playing up against some of these other people, they know what to do in these sticky situations.
And even with that great team play, though, that 1-3 by ASU is going to give them a 12-point lead, finishing race 1 as we head into race 2 here on Squeaky Clean Sprint.
Yes. And it looks like this was ASU's pick, which makes sense. This is a pretty strong runner track here. So yeah, we can potentially see these this 1 and 3 spot kind of start to break away if the UCSD isn't able to capitalize on them just surrounding them at the start. So we see Cairo in 4th place here. Oh wait, we are on Top Hat's POV. Sorry, this is pretty weird on our end, but it looks like, yeah, Top Hat, he's chilling in the back here. He is currently in 11th, so we'll see what he can do to kind of catch back up. Luckily, there is a lot of catch up potential, especially on this first lap of Squeaky, because all the players are forced to go the bottom route on this glider, so anyone with shrooms can get an easy break into the top spots here. I can't tell which POV we're on, but
I believe we're on Cairo right now.
Cairo?
In 3rd place. Right now, all 3 POVs are in 3, 4, and 5. Really close together.
Yep. And we see Cairo just chilling in 2nd here. He has a Nah and a Shroom. So we have UCSD in 1st right now. So yeah, we'll have Wall. Yeah, he has a horn. So, you know, if Cairo gets something like a red here, perchance, I mean, he can do something with it. But, I mean, having the Shroom, yeah, he's choosing to cut up here. Now, Wallaweez can choose, yeah, to be pretty aggressive with that horn. I had no idea you could go off the little thing right there and still live. But it looks like, Cairo just getting absolutely murdered here.
When it rains, it pours.
Yeah, not only redded or horned off into an unfortunate spot of the track, he then got redded off the glider, which has a horrible landing, and he's just getting clobbered right now into the back. And we see Wall, he is just now breaking away, and I'm pretty sure Slick over here is the Peach, so he is going to try his best to break in there with whoever is behind him. So we'll see what they can do as Cairo sits here last with a star. Hopefully he can get something to dodge here, or hopefully he can dodge the shock with the star he has. And he's goldening up. It looks like UCSD is holding the blue, so they are ready to throw it whenever ASU breaks into the top spots. But it looks like since it's the end of the race, they can just chuck it anyways.
And a great build pull, too.
I don't think Cairo's going to be able to gain much out of this. 9th place max here?
Yeah, respectable, here. Much better than last. But that is a great UCSD result for race 2. 1-3-4. Massive race there for them.
Yeah, so now we see UCSD POV right here. So we'll see what tracks they're going to go with here. And it looks like they're going with DK Jungle here, which is, again, a pretty tech-heavy track here. So there's a lot of very interesting stuff like super bounces. And, you know, that's one thing that inside drifter bikes cannot do, which kind of puts them at a bit of a disadvantage on this track if they're not too familiar with the rest of it. So yeah, we'll see what ASU can do to kind of break into it. But yeah, if UCSD can get that track pick, that is pretty big for them. And it looks like they get it. So that is going to be a pretty big track pick for them just because, you know, anti-inside drift with the super bounce right at the start. So we'll see how ASU is able to handle it. And we're switching over to Slick's POV. So, oh, no, we're back over to Top Hats. So, yeah, we have Top in 3rd, and we have Wallaweez in 1st, it looks like. But Slick is in 2nd. So, since he's surrounded by UCSD players here, he can choose to be pretty aggressive with the trails. But, wow, top 2, only pulling shrooms isn't something you see often. But luckily, they can shroom up right by the glider here and, you know, kind of get a bit of a break pretty early on.
Yep, and he'll take the cut with the shroom as well. Great pull. Just getting a pretty clean driving here. Slick is behind him, but right now Slick has nothing to hit him out with. We'll pull the red on the set, though.
Yep, and now Top Hat is sent into the water section here, so we'll see what happens. Oh, he gets hit out once again, and we see, yeah, he's kind of chilling in the mid pack here. Gotta watch out for the fire from Bonanza, and yeah, getting hit out again by Bonanza here. Yeah, got to be careful about all of the ASU players near him. Yeah, and it looks like we have UCSD in 1st here, but it looks like they are just surrounded by ASU players. And Top Hat just getting sent straight to the back. And it looks like we have Wallaweez chilling in last here, which is pretty good because they do need that coverage for shock. And Top Hat is just getting clobbered by everything getting thrown his way. ASU is everything behind first, so whoever is in first for UCSD, they are going to have to drive their best, item play their
Ooh,
best
and a
to see what they
shock
can
comes
do.
out, and it looks like a UCSD shock. They pulled 2 dodges, and Top Hat gets the bill there.
Yeah. And he has a ghost in pocket, so he can chain dodges here, which can be pretty lucrative if there's a lot of stuff going on around him. And he is choosing to ghost here into the item set. Got to be careful of Bonanza's greens here because his ghost is going to end. He chucks the bomb up, and
crazy bomb
doesn't
throw.
hit anybody. Yep. And we see he has pulled triple greens here, but gotta be careful of all of the opposing items. The greens getting chucked up here, narrowly dodging through. Looking behind him, got to be careful of Luna's red, but currently she has no reason to use it because of all of the teammates around her. So, yeah, looks like ASU is in a lot of the top spots here. Got to be careful of those Droogle triple nanas, but he gets hit out. We'll see what spot Top Hat Bear can close it in here.
Got a crazy sequence. It looks like Top Hat and Luna there are going to be able to salvage just a bit, maybe a 3-5 for them. Yep. Not as bad as it could have been. Great result there on Maple, also known as Luna. And Top Hat there to cut up, especially that whole lap 3 by Top Hat was kind of insane. It started with that it's just crazy bomb chuck up. He hit the single set, and without even pulling a shrooms or really anything to cut up, just goes for the shroom cut. Pulled the triple shrooms to take the cut, so the gamble paid off. Avoiding getting hit by the triple greens, and then that amazing play, avoiding the fire, avoiding all that traffic to get 5th place. Great driving on his end. It'll cut the lead by Arizona State down just a bit. 6-point lead for ASU going into race 4, I believe, or race 4. And we see UCSD's picking Mushroom Gorge. And while ASU does have a lot of inward players, and Mushroom Gorge is a pretty famous anti-inward track, I know from personal experience that they practice those anti-inwards a lot. Not that it will matter too much, as we will be going to Water Park instead for race 4.
Yeah, and one thing to note about Water Park is that it has it has notably one very big long turn, which honestly is really good for inside drift because they can hug that wall as tight as they want to, and it can be kind of good for them. Although we don't really get to see too much of that action in the top spots just because it was 2 outside drifter players that got top 2, but again, this is a pretty big advantage for all of the other inside drift players that are on the team. And we see Cairo over here in 3rd place, who is holding on to this Nana, and it looks like lots of ASU at the top really early on. He's getting that UMT, able to draft up and just maintain this first super easily. And now he can just kind of chill in first here, surrounded by his teammates. Ooh, looks like Asha is able to cut up and is chilling a red, choosing to be pretty aggressive. So we'll see Cairo, choosing to land early just to try to avoid that red. He's holding on to this Nana. No reason to chain it just because, chaining it there is pretty scary. He loses his Nana, unfortunately, so he is defenseless until this next item set that Astra could kill him at. He is pressing that X button, making sure at all times that how safe he can be here, and unfortunately, he is getting redded out.
It looked like he kind of went for a wall dodge as well, but unfortunately got hit by the red as we switch to Top Hat Bear really quickly here in 7th place with the shrooms. Will get hit out.
Yep, and we see Top Hat. He is in the back, and honestly, there is a ton of ASU. I think that might be a bottom 3 or bottom 4 even for UCSD, so they are going to need something big. But
they do have full odds for shock with all of bottom 4. They could be a big pull if they decide to stop.
Yeah, but it looks like there is a UCSD in first here. I think it might have been Asha from what we saw earlier, but it looks like we have Top Hat Bear pulling out the triple greens. So we'll see what he can do to kind of hold on to this. But as soon as Droogle Star ends, Top Hat can kind of be aggressive. Unfortunately, doesn't hit wall. He does hit Droogles, though, with the greens he had. There's the shock at the very
there's
end.
The shock.
Misses the past. Okay. He got passed by his teammate, though, so it's not as bad as it could have been. And it looks like UCSD...
Nope, and that's a great result.
Yeah, UCSD was really able to break into those top spots there at the end, because at the end, other than first place, that was very ASU dominant. And it looks like they were able to take care of that very well. again, just a bit of that D1 difference because of their previous seasons. And it looks like, yeah, it looks like UCSD is going with a lot of anti-inward tracks, which, I mean, it makes sense because, you know, over half of the roster they brought to this is inside drift. So they need every bit of advantage they can get.
Yep, and right now, I know last track was the ASU pick as they were chaining their runners, but you know you can't let track picks like that kind of get to you, and especially when you have a great result like that. That's great momentum. Coconut Mall coming out for ASU. We'll see which one gets selected.
Yeah, but it looks like we are going to Dragon Driftway. Now, one thing that makes this pretty difficult for the inside drift players is all of these really tight turns that are like, you know, back to back to back, and as well as the no item shortcut, otherwise known as a NISC, that we will see. That is right as we get outside of this little interior part, you see that grass shortcut up there. You can cut across that shroomless, and for outside drifters, it is very, very easy for them to pull it off and get a breakaway super quick. So if they can take advantage of that, which we might see here from Top Hat, yeah, we'll see him pull it off here.
Ooh, he misses. He went for that Hail Mary green. It's kind of a risky green because of how much it bounces around. It could have hit a teammate. It didn't hit Slick, but it did hit his trail and made him defenseless. As we see a tiny bit of item lag coming out right now. 2 shrooms for Top Hat.
Yeah, I see one of the Inklings back there. That's definitely from ASU, so I think they might have been a DC, but I'm not too sure. Oh, they're up there. Okay, I think this is a... Yeah, there might have been a DC. I'm not too sure, but it looks like we have Top Hat Bear in 7th place, so we'll see what he can do here. It looks like Cairo has a Rang, and Top Hat Bear is shooting... Wow, that is a very unfortunate shroom.
Yeah, that bump against Cairo right there. It was just really unfortunate to misalign. Oh, and the backfire too.
Yeah, and we see Cairo here. He's popping out the plant, so he will see what he can do to break into the top spots. But it looks like he has triple greens in 6th, and yeah, he's tossing him up, getting hit by the bomb. That killed like freaking a 4th of the lobby there. So
crazy bomb.
Yeah.
Back.
And we see Cairo now all the way down to 9th, and it looks like we have UCSD in 1st place here. Yeah, popping out the triple reds, instantly killing Wallabies. As we switch over to Top Hat Bear POV, he is holding on to that blue shell, which is big because they cannot lose first here. First matters so much.
And he has a shroom for the cut at the end, too.
Holding on to the shroom so we can use it at the cut, but got to be careful of Drugel's red here because he does have that. Got to be careful. Oh, and gets hit by more fire, but again, opting to hold on to that shroom just for the cut and tossing that blue out at the very end. Fortunately, it's not going to do much.
And the red's going to take out. Oh, no, it looked like a lag hit. It looked like he cut into 7th there for just a second. That's going to be a bottom 5.
Yeah, even though
they did get first at least, but oof.
Yeah, even though this was UCSD's pick, it's like ASU was easily able to just like break into those top spots. They shut them down really fast. So yeah, even though this is pretty anti-inward, they took advantage of it.
They practice these tracks. They know what their opponents are going to counterpick them on, and they just spend a lot of their time just practicing it very intricately. And I think it shows right there. I mentioned it when they picked the Mushroom Gorge. ASU's prepared for these counter picks, and it's really all that practice is coming out right now. That bottom 5 for UCSD, and I gotta point out that like 10 seconds after Top Hat Bear hit the no item shortcut, it shows the bittersweetness of words. He played that so well, holding onto the shroom, having the blue shell, taking phenomenal lines to avoid getting hit out by the 2 ASU players around him. And all for naught as he got backed by fire. Unfortunate, but that's just how the game goes sometimes.
Mm-hmm. And we will see. And it looks like some DCs here or some
disconnect. From Top Hat Bear.
Yeah.
It looks like both teams have agreed to reopen the room, so there might have been some lag shenanigans there.
Yeah, that might have been because if you remember from the race, that Inkling that was like lagging about, I think that might have been what it was from. So, yeah, room reopen right here. And we see the large amount of races Top Hat Bear and Wall have played against each other.
Crazy.
Um, yes, I know there is someone that I actually have played about even more races than that with. I have played almost 4,000 races against Six. So that
Shout out to
is
Elephant62. I believe
uh,
myself and FIU Milkshake. We have around 4,000 as well, somewhere in that number,
mhm.
maybe even 5,000. I haven't checked in a while. The room is reopening due to lag. However, UCSD has agreed to honor the result of the previous race. So the 2 through 7 there from Arizona State will stand. That bottom 5, while the score is very much brutal, um, at least UCSD will be able to reset the spots just a little bit.
Mhm. So, yeah, not gonna lie, for UCSD, this room reopen is actually kind of good for them just because full reset here. They were kind of in, not ideal spots, but now they can, I'm not too sure who the host is. Do you know who the host is for this?
I believe it's Wallace, and I would like
Hmm.
to apologize really quick. I misread the communications between the chats between the two teams. Um, they are not getting. They're getting 2 through 7 in spots. They're not getting 2 through 7 as in the results of the previous race. That was my bad. So that
Hmm.
previous Dragon Driftway race does not count. But Arizona State University will be starting in the spots that they essentially finished in from that Dragon Driftway. So UCSD will have
Okay.
1-0 going into this.
Yes. So
As
1-0 here are the pretty polar spots here. I mean, it's kind of tough to work with something like this just because having one is nice. And it looks like, yeah, it looks like we see UCSD going with Mushroom Gorge. Again, very infamous anti-inward with the absurd amount of super balances and the difficulty of the gap jump on inward. And we see ASU going with Paris, which is a really strong inward track, really strong inward runner that you typically see in lounge. But this track has, again, lots of long turns that inwards can just hug the wall on. And it looks like we are going to Mushroom Gorge, which again, the amount of super balances that are on this track, like the amount of speed you lose on inward from it is insane. So we'll see how well they're able to keep up, but I wouldn't be surprised if we saw a lot of back presence from ASU because of this. So a shock might be what keeps them in the game.
Yep, we do see at least one ASU player in the back. We see another UCSD player staying back with them. Even though this track is not very friendly toward inwards, ASU is very good on it. ASU actually got a fridge top 6 versus the University of Arizona on Mushroom Gorge during syllabus week 3. So they are very good at it. And if you look at Cairo's driving right here, it definitely shows it driving very well on the track. Astra will be in first with triple shrooms, but Cairo will pull the perfect red shell to hit them out. Getting back into first place. Defense in the front. We do see a blue shell out and a shock. Crazy.
Yep. And we see Top Hat Bear, who has insanely good items right now. In first place, triple shroom star. This is typically a 9th place like item set here, and he is chilling in first place with it going into lap 3. He is doing fantastic right now. Not only can he dodge a blue shell in first, he can dodge a second shock in first, which is insane. So he is set up right now, and I think that's Wallace behind him. That is top 3 UCSD
top
behind
3.
him. Almost top 4, almost top 5 from them.
It's crazy. And they had a second place.
Bill in second. He's popping his dodge. I don't know if he's going to go for star gap here. No, it's opting to go around. I don't think so. Be safe.
Yep, be safe. Didn't know if it would end in time or not. It's Top Hat kind of messed up the cut there on lap 2, having to burn a second shroom after making it, but his teammates holding down the front, just kind of made that mistake not important, and that's a top 3-5 for UCSD. Unfortunately, with all that gassing up we were doing for ASU on Mushroom Gorge, but a great result there for the Triton.
It's just super bounces are insanely powerful on this track. With the absurd amount of trampolines, it does make that much of a difference. And we got to see it right there. So we get to see UCSD pick a really solid runner here because they're going to need these track picks because they are down about like 12 here. So we'll see what they can do. And it looks like they're going with TikTok Clock, and we see ASU going with Moo Moo Meadows. So we'll see if UCSD can get their runner of choice because that would be huge for them.
Mm-hmm. That minus 12 for UCSD, or them being down 12, was the previous race results. They are now up 6 after that Mushroom Gorge race. So that looks like a plus 18 for them.
Yeah, that was massive, especially with Top Hat's like pull up there was insane. And we see Slick is their highest spot up there, and he is surrounded by all of the UCSD players. So if he gets anything like red or green, he can choose to toss it up or trail it, be super aggressive, and have a pretty good shot at hitting one of the UCSD players out. So we see Cairo chilling in 4th place here. He has a Nana, and yeah, there's UCSD. They are chilling in the top spots. Unfortunately, not getting the double was pretty tragic, and having to space out for Asher's trail here. So yeah, he's opting to go on the left side just to avoid any potential back from the opponents here, and he is going to get a pretty safe double. Again, Asher's right near him, so he's got to be careful, and it looks like Slick had triple greens. Top Hat is now getting potentially double redded out here. Yeah, because we see one of the ASU players right behind Cairo, and now they have top 2. So I think that's Luna, actually, that might be near him in the top spots. So Luna's, I guess, just going to have to try their best to break in, as Cairo and whoever is with him right behind him, which is Slick, I'm pretty sure, they're going to have to hold on to these top spots to the best of their ability.
And right now, Cairo's doing a fantastic job of driving TikTok Clock, hitting all the tricks, getting all the coins, defense out in first, coin in pocket, but he does have his teammate behind him. Right now, it just looks like pretty smooth sailing. We do see a Bill in the back. UCSD might be entering shock distance now, especially with the Birdo and the Yoshi there in the back that just crossed into lap 3, but if they're trying to pull shock, they're going to have to go really hard for it. Doesn't look like it, as ASU just keeps pulling away in top 2.
Yeah, Top Hat unfortunately not getting that double there, which is very unfortunate considering he's like been set back pretty far. He is going to need to like make it as much as he can, and it looks like I think ASU was holding blue there because we see the blue pop out at the very end, and that is an easy top 2 for ASU. They held on to that very well. Top Hat getting the trick right off the side of the gear, and we'll see what spots we got here at the end. Top 2, 5, 6 from ASU. Very
bottom 2,
nice
though.
performance. Oh yeah, bottom 2, which
bottom
that
2.
does kind of hurt, but they did get some pretty solid top spots, which is
they should be able to take the lead back with that one, and just gotta commend it once more. Top Hat, he did miss the set there at the end. And he got inked, but he very, I don't want to say bravely, but very wisely went a little bit off the optimal line and avoided getting started out when he was in 7th place. So yeah, he got passed up, but at least he didn't fall off the track and potentially get last. And ASU will take a 2-point lead as we head into the next race here. Cuba Cape coming out for UCSD, one of their signature tracks, while Paris Promenade, arguably the signature track for ASU. And we will be going to Koopa Cape.
This track is, pretty good for the UCSD players here, just because of the insanely good shortcut that's halfway through the lap. We'll see it in the water stream section, and it's really good for mid spots just because that is a pretty big turn that you have to go around, and being able to just cut it off like that, you're able to get so many spots so fast. So we'll see all of the people get their shrooms here in this mid pack, and as long as they don't get bumped or hit out, they can utilize that shortcut. And Slick is being aggressive, instantly trailing that green, and then it looks like we saw Cairo get hit out there at the start, and now Slick is in first. However, this won't last for long, as we will see some people take the shortcut as he gets sent down.
There we go.
5th.
2 UCSD players taking the cut.
Wall Louise is chilling in first right now. And it looks like there's a lot of ASU in the bottom here. And we'll see what they can do to catch up on this track, which luckily there are 2 more laps, and that is 2 more laps. You can take that shortcut. So we'll see how well ASU can pull these really good power items and cut up as many times as they can, because this is a top 3 from UCSD, and ASU is all behind them. And it's Slick's job to try to bust into these top spots. So we'll see how successful he is here.
He went for the green bounce there, and I like the play, especially with how tight that space can get with the Goombas and all that. Unfortunately, it doesn't work out trying to hit out fly, but I do like the attempt. I do like the game plan there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it looks like he's got to be careful on his teammates because he just got hit by the triple greens there. Pretty unfortunate, but yeah, he's getting rid of all these greens because he does not need these. He needs some power items. They're gonna need shock, but well, actually, no, they won't, because there's a lot of ASU up there behind first, and we do see a lot of UCSD in the back. So we'll see how that goes here. We see Slick opting to stop at set, pulling a golden here, which isn't optimal. He's gonna have to start using that just because, golden really isn't that optimal of an item. He's gonna need dodges in case of a shock. So
he did slow down at the set when it didn't really look like they were in pulling distance. It's possible maybe the Inkling has it. Maybe not, because we've gone so late in the lap without it. Pulls the boo, immediately goes into the boo. We'll see.
Yep, he has a green here in 7th, and there is a UCSD player and hits him out. There goes Astra, and we see Waluigi's getting to solidified first. Oh, Slick. Ooh, barely outrunning the red. He wall dodges it on the finish line, and he is clipping that.
Goes for the save.
Valid clip. And we see a 1-4 from UCSD. However, they are surrounded by all ASU players, so their tops are not safe. So we'll see what tracks UCSD wants for their top 1 and 4th place, and we'll see. Ooh, looks like they want Piranha Plant Cove, and ASU is going with Wario's Gold Mine. Track you don't see too often. And we see Piranha Plant Cove here, which is really good for a lot of the outside drift players, just because it is easier to take a lot of these giant water shortcuts you see on outward. So we'll see how well they can take them. And it looks like we are going to Piranha Plant Cove. There is also a pretty difficult shroom cut halfway through lap 1, but I doubt we'll see anyone take it just because the sheer difficulty and the circumstances are pretty specific. So we'll see how well UCSD is able to utilize their track pick, because they are down a little bit. So any points that they can grab are pretty lucrative.
Yep, but it's been a pretty close war all throughout, I'd say. At the beginning, we kind of had some bigger deficits, but as we get close, we're getting into the nitty gritty. It's just so close. Unfortunate line fell there by Top Hat, but it is Cove. They will be able to recover, I'm sure.
Yep. We see Top Hat Bear starting off here in last, and there's a lot of ASU back here. Again, sometimes you just need some people just in the back right here, and we see Top Hat. He is pulling the shrooms. I doubt we'll see him go for the shortcut here, as it is quite challenging, but he has these shrooms. Yeah, opting to show. He's going for the spoon strat here, which is the alternative to doing it. You never see this pulled off, so actually seeing this pulled off is pretty cool.
First!
Yep.
Into top 3 at first for a moment. That was insane.
Yes, shortcut discovered by my goat, UGA Spoon. And we see him in first here with fire. That was insane. You never see that kind of stuff on prime time. But here we are. Top Pat pulling it off for the fans. And we see Top, he is now just chilling in first. And we'll see how well he can hold on to it, defending these reds with his Nana here. But unfortunately, that's a second red.
And not able to get the wall. Yep, not able to get the wall dodge. Great plays by him, though.
Has a horn. He is going to have to space himself out. Yeah, opting to go for the double here. But it looks like they weren't able to horn the blue, and they are going to have to take it. That is a top 2 for ASU. Actually, that is a 1-3 for ASU. Ooh, but unfortunately, he's going to have to pay the price of getting redded. And it looks like he's getting sent back pretty far. And now ASU has a lot of top spots here. So we'll see how UCSD can break into these spots, because the ending of this is super straightforward. So it's easy to... Wow, barely dodging that bomb. Got to be careful. Triple Nana's getting hit out. And Top Hat Bear, he has this red, hitting out one of the ASU players, taking that double. no shroom, which is really unfortunate for these cuts at the end. Gets greened out,
Oh,
unfortunately.
unfortunate green. He will be
Yep.
able to hit out Bonanza at least. Does have the ring. Might be able to get another ASU player. A bomb right there in the middle, forcing Cairo to mess up his line. And he gets ranked by Top Hat. The
Yeah, it
rain
looks
comes
like he
back.
gets 6th here.
He held the shroom though, which was a great play. And that's
these
gonna
are the
be
same spots that happened on TikTok as well. Top 2, 5, 6. Bottom 2 for
crazy.
ASU. So,
Man, just
yeah, that's another gain.
Yep. And now it's a plus 16 for ASU as we head into, I believe, the final GP of the war. Right now,
Yep.
what we've been able to see through the point of views, Wisp, is, UCSD and Top Hat are they're making phenomenal plays. They're making great decisions, aggressive decisions to get into those top spots. But ASU's being very fortunate, being able to pull the items and being able to execute an immediate responses, with those reds, forcing Top Hat to use his defense early, pulling a second red shell on the set. Just great item plays by ASU right now to counteract the aggressiveness by UCSD so far.
Yep, and it looks like we're going to Rome Avanti, which one thing to note about UCSD is that a lot of them are from the MK Wall team, and this is one of their prominent tracks. They have a lot of synergy, and picking tracks that that team is pretty comfortable with, I think they can prevail in this track. This track also has 2 really good shroom spots at the very start. So much like Koopa Cape, you'll see lots of people cutting up and, taking these top spots pretty early, mainly from UCSD. But we do see a shroom in 3rd from Cairo, and that's top 3 from ASU pretty early on, getting bumped out, which
unfortunate.
is really unfortunate.
Burns the shroom as well. No coins in 8th place. Not a very good position. Should be able to at least pull something, though, on the double here.
Yep. Top Hat with the shroom in 1st here. Gets greened out right before the cut, along with Slick. Getting sent to the back right as he was about to make his break. And it looks like we see UCSD is in 1st here, but they are surrounded by ASU here. And it looks like we have Top Hat Bear in 6th place right now. Actually 5th with a shroom. Got to be careful of Bonanza's green there. Gets hit out by Bonanza's triple greens in pocket, though.
Yeah, Top Hat versus Green Shells has been kind of the theme of the last few races.
Oh, yeah, seems. For sure. But it looks like UCSD is still holding on the 1st there, which is kind of impressive with the amount of ASU behind them.
And also to note, I believe they control most of the back spots, so they could also go for the shock if needed.
Yep. You see Top Hat pulling out the Crazy 8, but can't throw it forward because Lemon is right in front of him, so he's got to be careful. But it looks like he's popping that Crazy 8, backing it all onto the ASU player behind him, chaining that star into the set as he pulls a blue. Unfortunately, this is another time he has to hold it, just like Dragon Driftway, just because his teammate is in 1st, and they cannot afford to lose it with the amount of ASU that's behind 1st. So we'll see him hold on to this blue, but I don't know if he'll be able to throw it before the shortcut, which is unfortunate.
It does look like the 1st place is breaking away, though. A bomb drop by them, able to throw the blue, misses the item set, though.
But he's in star. He is dodging the fire from the star, and it looks like he is going to be able to get 7th here. So we'll see what spots end up. It looks like 1, 3.
7 and
another
and
DC.
A communication
connection
error.
Issues.
A black screen communication error as well, not one of the game pop-ups. I don't believe you could record that on a Switch replay when you hold down the record button or the capture button.
Yeah, luckily we got it here on stream.
The spots did come up, at least for Top Hat Bear. I'm curious if that race will count. Top Hat is able to get back in the room, thankfully. And they will be going Dragon Driftway again. So it looks like the race does count. Top Hat going from 7th to 12th, though, for disconnecting. But at least he is back in the room. ASU still holding on to a 16-point lead. And because that previous Dragon Driftway race does not count, UCSD gets to select it again. And maybe this time around it could go way better if it gets selected.
Oh, we're going to Goldmine here, which this is a pretty niche track. So we'll see how well ASU is able to show how they can play on these niche tracks. Because while Wario's gold mine is not something you see super often here, and we're on Kairo's POV here, so we'll see how well the ASU players are able to defend their own track pick. Looks like, yeah, we see Cairo. He's going to be starting off here in the mid-pack, chilling in 7th place here. We'll see if he's able to nab a box here, which normally can be kind of difficult with the amount of players. Ooh, kills everybody with those triple nanas. Hopefully they can get some of his teammates in at that, but he is now getting an easy lead in the first place right here at the start. He is going to hopefully run away with this, so we'll see what he can do. But yeah, again, this is ASU's track pick, so they are picking this because they are extremely strong on it. And yeah, all right. So Cairo is sitting in first place still. Ooh, and he pulls a green bomb. This is an insanely good item pull for
strong
first,
pull, especially with 10 coins as well. If ASU could hold that second place, this could be a super strong break for Cairo, but it looks like they get hit out. It looks like just a lot of haymakers are being exchanged there behind first place on the minimap.
This is also an insane pull from Cairo.
Oh my goodness!
He has a bomb horn, which
and the horn's in pocket.
Insane. Yes, so now he doesn't have the horn getting ghosted. He can still defend the red, and he can back this bomb or toss a bomb forward. So he doesn't really need the bomb anymore because that blue is out. And yeah,
like
that's not
the
going to do a whole
bomb,
lot.
Didn't hit his teammate, and the blue shell will get horned. Top Hat pulling back-to-back ghosts, pulls a coin, presumably from Cairo, who is now firmly breaking away from the pack. But we do see a 2-3-4 from UCSD right now, it looks like.
Yeah, and it looks like Top Hat, he has triple greens here, so he can be pretty aggressive against Strugels here because he does not want Luna to get hit here. And unfortunately, he gets hit instead. Two revolving greens, but does hit out another one of the ASU players, and Cairo is gone on that mini map, which is probably, you know, why they picked that track, just because they are good at it. And Top Hat is shelling this red, trying to be aggressive with it, and we're gonna see who's in that ghost in front of him or near him. I thought there was a ghost. I could be delusional, but it looks like Top Hat is trailing a red here still.
We see some UCSD players cutting up as well. A blue shell is
out of the way for the blue.
Probably not hitting in time.
Yep, and he has triple greens out in 4. Choosing to back these. Maybe he's going to hit one of the ASU players behind him, and now he has
triple shrooms pulling 4 is crazy.
Yep. And
it's going to be a 2-3-4 for UCSD, I think.
Everything behind 1. And yeah. Okay, that actually was not that bad. They were able to get a lot of those spots behind first there, so that is pretty good for them.
Yeah, crazy races, crazy race there from Cairo, breaking away in first. Great result. Great plays from Top Hat Bear as always. Just some insane item work there. I believe what happened to Ghost entering lap 3, the second item set, I think the Ghost went into the off-road just a little bit, and because of that, Top Hat was able to pull ahead. -4 for ASU, it looks like. 416 to 404. 12 race game with 2 races left. Down to the wire.
We are seeing some polar opposite tracks here. We're seeing Toad's Turnpike, which is known as the inward track, and we are seeing DK Mountain, which is one of the most anti-inward tracks in the game, unless your name is Shadow. And it looks like we are going to Toad's Turnpike here, which this is pretty big. This is, you know, again, we have Cairo in first here. So we'll see how well he can hold on to it, but we do have another inward in the top spots here. So, you know, don't count, you know, Cairo as running away out just yet. So we'll see what he can do to hold on to first here, because he is surrounded by UCSD at the start. So we see, yeah, Top Hat Bear getting bumped out.
That's
insane green.
Insane green. Top Hat Bear versus Green Shells. It's been a running theme of this point of view so far.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's just
Top
unfortunate.
He's just getting hit out constantly, you know. He's getting hit by the green, not making the green, you know.
This looks like a 1-3-4-5 right now for ASU as we enter lap 2.
Yeah, Top Hat not getting any of the coins either, as it is getting stolen by Slick. And we see, yeah, going over to Slick's POV here. I'm going to go for the glider here, you know, kind of navigating around the vehicles. He is chilling in 9th with Shrooms here because, you know, they need that back presence because there's a lot of red in those top spots. So, They need someone patrolling the back just so they know whenever UCSD gets shocked, but they have bottom three, so
Yep,
shock.
and they're going wide there and last to try and get into that shock distance without suiciding for it just yet. Don't know if they pull it. Looks like they're entering star. This looks like this might be a top 6 for ASU, even if just for a moment. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, we see lots of top spots by ASU. We'll see how well they can hold on to it because, like I said earlier, this is one of the strongest inward tracks. They can just hug these corners and break away on it. And yeah, looks like Slick is just chilling in fourth with fire here. And he's just going to see what he can do with this. I mean, yeah, he's going to try to get rid of it, just get that timer ticking, just because he probably wants some other items here.
There's the shock. Gets Slick into center. And he pulls triple shrooms.
Yep.
Into triple reds. That's insane.
Yep. Amazing pull from Slick here. And it looks like he's going to solidify. Oh, fly past him at the end. So that is second for UCSD. That is 1-3 for ASU. Yeah.
A 2-5-6-7. That's a massive save for UCSD right there. Potentially preventing a top 6.
Yeah, they had a lot of these bottom spots. So that shock was definitely from UCSD because they were able to salvage that pretty well.
Yep, and it keeps the pace of the match back to what it's usually been. I believe this is a plus 16 for ASU as we head into the final race. Insane salvage there from UCSD. You got to wonder if Slick doesn't pull those insane items after the shock. I mean, is there a chance UCSD could possibly win that race? You think, Wisp?
UCSD, I mean, they would have to have like all of their players dodge if they wanted to win that, honestly. I mean, the ASU was so prominent in the top there.
And they get to chain into yet another strong inward track here. Paris Promenade for race 12. Up 16. Let's see what will happen.
Yep, and we see Drugels starting in first here with Slick behind him, outlining UCSD instantly at the start. That is a very easy top 2 to start off. However, they are now surrounded by UCSD players in the top, as that is only blue players near them. So we'll see how well they can hold to it. Slick needs to trail the screen. Yep, and gets a hit off of it. And we'll see lots of ASU slowly creeping into the top here. We have Cairo and we have Drugels, but it looks like Slick is getting bumped out, which is quite unfortunate as he has a red there. And it looks like we have Top Hat Bear with a horn in second. I think that might be another horn behind him. I can't tell. But yeah, he has a horn in second, which is really good in case first decides to drop out. But unfortunately, he gets hit out there. He has Nana in pocket, which is not great for 9th place. But yeah, that's UCSD bottom 4.
Bottom 4 odds. They do have full odds, but
not anymore. But
can't really. You're not really in a position, especially on that part of the track, to really slow down for it though too much.
And now we see ASU. They're slowly. Jugel's starting to make a little bit of a breakaway there, as he is holding on the first. So we'll see UCSD. They're gonna need something to break into those top spots because it is looking pretty difficult for them. Bomb drop back. And we see Top Hat chilling in 5th place here with Luna in front of him. That is top 3 from ASU. And Top Hat has a rank here. He's probably going to shroom up here and try throwing this rain to get his last throw out. So it will go extra far and be able to hit out the top 3 here. Got to be careful of Luna, though. So he is coming up on this double item set. So he is going to need some sort of shrooms here just because those will be really good for him. Ooh, gets bomb. Triple Green's going to chuck it up in hopes of a hit. And it does.
Gets the hit.
Players. And we see Top Hat and Luna in 3-4. So we'll see if somebody shrooms up here at the end. But it looks like Bonanza was able to shroom up. And
yep, and that's a top 2 for ASU. I believe that will clinch the game for them. Yeah, but 1, 2, 5, 8, 10, 11. That should be an ASU victory. ASU, though it may have been very difficult, and UCSD put up a lot of resistance, they will ultimately hold on to the victory. And I believe they will remain undefeated so far. in Division Two.
Yeah. ASU, they just have tons of very strong players. And, I feel like they just have lots of players that have really great competitive experience. I mean, take Slick, for example. He was on Pirate Hackers for a really long time, I'm pretty sure. And yeah, and we see him over getting some Division 5 experience on Cook, which is insanely good stuff, especially in collegiate in these higher level lobbies. Getting tons of like mid-div MKU experience really sets you apart from the rest of the pack. And Cairo, who has tons of, top inward times in this game, it is super good for him because he is able to just get these huge breaks with his really good driving. So, and also just all of the other players getting some good team experience in, it is like really good for ASU, and they are just able to get these very good breaks and ultimately beat UCSD. Very good war between the two teams, and there were lots of really close points throughout the match.
Yeah, no, that was so much fun to watch. That was great. That was befitting of a late night primetime or early morning, I guess, if you're on the East Coast. Incredibly exciting match. Very happy for our competitors, and it looks like we'll be able to secure a very quick interview with Arizona State University captain Slick.
All right. So we got Slick in here. Hello, Slick. How are you doing? Are you enjoying that win that you have just acquired against UCSD?
Yes, we are quite happy about that one.
That was a crazy war. That was back and forth. It was so close. That was insane to watch. Take me through kind of the mindset of ASU there throughout, because you guys would have big wars and they would have a big race, and then it would be ultra close. Just how'd you guys hold on and persevere?
I think we were just kind of, we're just kind of hoping they wouldn't pull shock, to be honest. But yeah, it was a lot of close races. So we were just kind of like, towards the middle, it was kind of all their picks. So we were just waiting to get our picks back, and then we were able to just pull through.
Yeah, speaking of shock, I have to ask, because we saw your point of view there at the end of Toad's Turnpike, race 11. The shock did happen. I believe you were in 4th place, and then you just pulled triple shrooms and triple red.
I know, it was so awkward.
How was the personal reaction there? Because I was bewildered.
I saw how far Drew was ahead, so I was expecting to pull like a shroom to shroom up, but I didn't necessarily think I was gonna get triple shrooms. I was just really hoping my red was gonna connect to get the guy that was passing me in second, but unfortunately it did not.
Unfortunately not, but you did have a great result.
Yeah,
Great win, of course. I believe ASU with that win moves to 5-0 on the season.
I think it's 6-0.
6-0, nice. Sorry, my bad. Yeah. As you enter kind of the final week, the last 3 matches, because Division 2 is a variable size div of 9 teams. What's kind of the mindset, I guess, looking like for the Sun Devils right now?
I think right now we're just kind of focused on playoffs. We're kind of focusing on the teams that we think could be an issue, and then we're just gonna practice playing tracks against those. And also a big thing is we only have like a finite amount of track picks, and in playoffs you kind of need to have a lot because of the no repick rule across the multiple wars. So we're gonna try to kind of expand our track selection.
All right, sounds very good. Wisp, do you have any questions for Slick here?
No, that was just a really good win for y'all. It was really interesting seeing all of y'all's like track picks and driving, just because I'm not really familiar with the inward game. So seeing all that stuff, I think is pretty interesting. So I mean, like, huge congrats to y'all. That was a nice win. Yeah, yep. That's all I got.
Yep, great job on that win, Slick. We won't hold you back any longer. Go ahead, go celebrate with your team on your well-deserved win. Congratulations once more.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah, welcome. All right. And that is it. Thank you to everyone that came out to watch the stream. This was a very good match to tune into, especially for a 1 a.m. match over here on the East Coast, because
that was exciting, man.
Yeah. that was a great match to cast. And since we've been talking about ASU, I do want to highlight something from UCSD, specifically Top Hat Bear. Loved seeing the Piranha Plant Cove shortcut. That was awesome. You never get to see someone do specifically the spoon strat there. So actually seeing someone pull that off was very awesome to see there. That was fantastic stuff. Yeah, but both teams are fantastic. Great performance. But yeah, that's all I got. You got any last words, Ted?
Nope. From all of us here at CKL, thank you guys so much for tuning in. We we understand that late ping in the server might have been a little bit of a surprise, but we're very happy to deliver a primetime match of that quality all the same. I've been Ted Bear, joined by Wisp. Thank you all for watching. We will see you next time.
Adios, y'all.